Hi, Eric.
Hello, and Charles and Tom Gard. Is that correct?
That's us.
All
Hi,
right.
Eric.
Correct.
Well, I'm here with Charles and Thomas Gard, writers and directors of Deadshot. Um, so I was looking up the kind of the history of this, and it's got a quite a long one. Originally written, well, it was originally a inspired by the book The Road to Balcom Street. And Ronan Bennett wrote a screenplay in 2012, and then eventually you guys came on and did your own rewrites on that. Can you kind of explain the process and the story of how this movie came to be? Because it's seems to have a storied history in that regard.
Sure does. So we first came to it through Chris Kern, the producer, who had sent it to us via our agent. Probably back in 2019, early 2019 or 2018, perhaps. No, I think it was 2019. But anyway, we read it and it hadn't really been touched. I think Ronan had done he had done two drafts, but it hadn't been touched for a while, and it had obviously come really close to getting made on a couple of occasions. And we read it and we loved the world. We loved the story. We felt that Ronan had hit upon something incredibly interesting in setting a revenge story, really, in this period of history. But we felt that it kind of aligned with a lot of political stuff that was going on at the time for us with in our country, with Brexit and stuff like that. There was a lot of anger, and a lot of division, a lot of ideological fault lines that sort of emerged, and they were very much kind of being, or rather, we the people were being manipulated by kind of a small minority of people, and we sort of felt that we had a kind of modern take. We saw an opportunity to really to kind of put into this story a lot of what we sensed about the world, in terms of kind of how hard it is for us to really learn from the past, and how difficult it is to break these cycles of sort of retribution and stuff like that. So we sort of we set about pitching a new take, and kind of we didn't exactly intend to entirely kind of rewrite it, but we sort of ended up it ended up becoming quite a different story. But it seemed to, it got everyone excited, and we got underway.
So with this, this one's based on a book, and then I hadn't seen The Uninvited until yesterday, because I liked this one so much, and I was like, oh, I gotta check out The Uninvited, and that one's a remake of Tale of Two Sisters. What's kind of your process in adaptations, just in general? Because I know I love Tale of the Two Sisters, but Uninvited had a very different ending and take on it. Like, what's your sort of process there?
Well, The Uninvited was we weren't we didn't play a part in. I mean, we helped develop the later stages of The Uninvited, but it was not our script, and so we can't really speak to that adaptation. But in terms of this, we were really just adapting it, and as Charlie said, in terms of how we felt, in terms of what we felt was going on around us at the time, and the type of films we also loved.
Also, so I don't know if you'll know what I want to try to talk around it, because could, I guess, be a spoiler for Deadshot. I don't think it is, but we'll just say someone There's blood shows up, and then there's a scene where you cut to a close up of a windshield wiper, but there's like a red light in the background to suggest like blood being clean. Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So is something like that written into the script, or is that like extra footage and you're in the editing room going, you know what, this little kind of pickup shot right here would work really great in the scene?
Well, the edit our brother Ted edited it, and he also shot a lot of second unit stuff for us, and that was a little sequence that he'd actually shot, and we'd always talked about a transitionary period after that scene, but he shot some beautiful stuff, and when we were looking at it in the editing rooms with him, just very naturally the colors seemed to change from reds to whites and to feel like they were being cleansed, and it just made perfect sense. It was just like one of those happy accidents that you get sometimes. So we really embraced it.
Yeah. Does the fact that like the three of you are all brothers working together kind of give you I don't know what the word I'm looking for, like almost like you got a hive mind, or like you kind of know what each other's thinking? Like what's kind of some of the joys and some of the artistic flourishes you might be able to pick up in filmmaking that you wouldn't otherwise?
There's certainly a shorthand, and there's also a lot of trust, which is a wonderful thing to have when you're collaborating with people. But also there was there's a huge wealth of shared experience and sort of shared tastes. So it becomes very easy to sort of yeah, exactly as Tom's saying, that kind of sequence that Ted went off and shot. We couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, it was like it was perfect. So it's shared taste and lots of trust. I think it's very fortunate to have that.
I also want to. Oh, good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, but in truth, it's that kind of relationship. It is not dependent on us being brothers. It's just dependent. It just works because we have a close working relationship, the three of us, and there are many directors who have very close relationships with their editors, who are often if you look at Wong Kar-wai, I mean, his editor is also his production designer and his costume designer. I mean, they have it's almost like they made those films together. So I think it's just a very important, it's a key role, the editor, and it's just it was great working with Ted on this.
Yeah, I also want to call out the music in this, the score. It's good. I don't know if you call it techno or what, but it works really well for this movie. It's not music you normally hear in a thriller kind of like this, and I really dug that quite a bit.
Yeah, Max de Wardeno, who was the composer, did an extraordinary job. It was wonderful to kind of see him shape that score and really take the audience on a journey that really feels like he really places you in Michael's head, in the sense that you kind of feel the darkness of some of Michael's thoughts and some of Tempest's thoughts, and it's sort of you're able to kind of move through the whole story in an incredibly fluid way, and it doesn't, it's sort of, people overuse this idea of things being like a dream, but Max's music just sort of, it pulls the whole story together in a way that we could really only have dreamt about. It was, we always wanted to have the music make a really strong impact on the experience of the viewing experience, and really that's exactly what Max gave us. It was extraordinary.
Yeah, I agree. It was pretty fantastic. But I'll just end on this. My co-host has a "What's in the Box" segment, and in the box we have people put in movies that they want us to check out. Kind of movies that are important to you or underseen that you think, wow, that was really good, and no one talks about it, sort of thing. What's a movie you two would like to put in a box, or put in the box, not in a box? You want to take it out of a box and put it into the box, I guess, would be the way to put it.
Charlie, you go first.
Oh God. In the context of this film.
Oh no, just in general. So just something you think is underseen. So what we do is we'll pull a movie out of the box. Like last week we did Park Chan-wook's Thirst, and it was just someone put in there that it's like no one talks about that, and I wish they would. So we pull it out of the box, we watch it that week, and then we'll talk about it that week.
Oh.
I would say, you know, just in the context of this film and the Troubles, I would say Elephant, the original Elephant that
Gus Van Sant?
No, the film that preceded Gus Van Sant. It inspired Gus Van Sant.
Oh, okay.
Film, but it's a film called Elephant, and it's a kind of definitely worth digging out, because it's an extraordinary film. That's very it's amazing and disturbing, but very provocative. Makes you think.
All right. And Tom?
Well, it's hard for us to have any conversation about movies without referencing Nicholas Roeg. So I would say I would put Walkabout in the box, because that was the first Nick Roeg film I ever saw when I was about 11 years old, and we were showing it at school, and it completely it sounds a cliche, but it really did blow my mind as an 11-year-old. I've never seen anything like it, and it still leaves me amazed whenever I watch it. So I don't know if you've seen that, but
I haven't. I think my probably both my co-hosts has. I know Bruce likes Nicholas Roeg, so that'll be a good. In fact, if the Elephant isn't the Gus Van Sant one, I'll have to look that one up, see what that is, because both these will be new to me. So these are great picks. But Charles and Tom, thank you for joining me today, and I really enjoyed your movie. And before I forget, it is coming out on digital, on demand, and theaters, which August 18th. I'm always excited when movies that, nothing wrong with comic book movies, but I like it when there's other more indie or, you know, lower budget movies coming out to theaters, because we don't see them very often, at least not here.
That's great.
Elephant's Alan Clark, if you want to look it up.
Alan Clark?
Alan Clark.
All right. Yeah. Thank you much. And you guys have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.